How's it going? Tim Yslava again with Arcade Automated Trading, and just want to give you a full rundown of where we're at as of July 23rd, excuse me, 2025. Okay, so as you know, we have a product called TradeLab. You actually may or may not know that, depending on where you're coming in from. But that being said, I kind of just want to jump in to the demo. But before I do, let me tell you a quick story. So we built this platform. Basically, it's a culmination of about 9 years of work, right? Learning about trading, learning about software, right? What it takes to actually have a successful trading strategy, what it takes to actually launch a full-fledged product, um, and building bots for people who are incredibly wealthy. Um, all of these things resulted in this product that I'm about to show you. Again, it took 9 years of work, right? Reading finance textbooks, reading PhD level white papers, taking a bunch of online courses, financial modeling, all this stuff. And then actually being successful with trading. I've made my family about $1.4 million in the markets as of today. And we hit all time highs in this past week. And then beyond that, right, after I figured that out, because I was working a full-time job in tech, the question is, hey, how do I do this and have it work automatically while I'm working, while I'm building my business, while I'm doing other things, while I'm with family, while I'm with friends, whatever it is, how do I have my trading always work for me? Okay. And then lastly, um, how do I do this for other people? Right. So I solved those first two. And then after I solved those first two things, I began offering it to the marketplace. I used to build trading bots and still do build trading bots for hedge funds, for really successful entrepreneurs, business owners, and working class people, basically everyone in between. And we were selling these trading bots for $100,000 per bot. Right. Um, but again, my goal with this was to help basically just about everyone I could possibly help while still being profitable and maintaining a business that actually functions. Okay. So that is why we built TradeLab. Okay. Again, 9 years of effort, 9 years of trial and error. And we're still learning and we're still improving the platform, which is why I want to show you what I'm about to show you, which is the actual product here. Okay. So here we are. This is TradeLab, right? I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I just want to reiterate one thing to you. Okay. This product is meant for beginners, it's meant for people who are intermediate, it's meant for experts, and everyone in between, bar none. Right. So it literally, no matter where you're at, this product has something for you, not only to kind of meet you where you're at, but also to take you to the next level. And so for that reason, I'm going to basically break everything out into sections. Okay, this first section is going to be dedicated to these beginner level, sort of entry level people who really don't know how to trade, or what it takes to trade. So number one, right, for these people, we have TradeLab Academy. Okay, and so TradeLab Academy, what it's going to do is basically to have this first bot challenge. So it's really going to show you how the platform works. It's going to show you literally step by step what you need to do to be successful in your trading. And you can do everything you need within the context of our platform, right? Again, you can go from beginner all the way to expert within this one platform, right? And as you can see, it's under construction, but rest assured, as we continue to grow, we're going to build this out, right? So that's number one. TradeLab Academy is there. It's going to be able to actually be your guide on how to use this properly. Um, but you know, I'm also here to help, right? So that being said, let me just show you another core component, right? So it's this trading education feature, right? So like, what is a trading strategy? Okay, so you could have an actual conversation with this AI agent, right? TradeLab chat, and what you'll see is it'll actually be the best finance coach in the world, right? It will tell you about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, quantitative analysis, right? And this platform here, TradeLab, will help you with everything that has to do with technical analysis. Okay. So, with that being said, right? So, what are some technical uh, analysis we can automate? Right? What are some technical analysis So we could just literally have a conversation with this AI agent, right? This TradeLab chat, and get a really solid understanding about what we could actually do here, right? So it gives you a quick, uh, a quick view of what you can do, right? Uh, and if you want to provide more, right, there's literally an endless amount, right? Please provide more, right? So you can just go on and on with this stuff, okay? And so it will help you and be the best possible coach you have ever had, right? Inside of the trading world, because it can go infinitely deep on any of these subjects and show you every strategy that's basically ever existed, right? And so again, it's giving you a bunch more, right? You can just go on and on and on, right? Now, so that's TradeLab Chat, right? In terms of the education portion, right? So we went over TradeLab Academy, we went over TradeLab Chat, the education portion of it. Now I also want to show you the Discord community, right? So again, this is obviously going to benefit the beginners, right? But it's also going to be beneficial to basically everyone who uses the app, right? So you're going to be able to talk with people, chat with them, and everything will be here to actually help you create a community around your uh, trading, right? And this is a very niche community, right? You probably know if you're here, right? You're a person that kind of maybe might be different than your family or might be different than your friends, right? You might have a couple friends who kind of get it, right? But in general, right? Like this is a rare sort of position you're in, and we want to make it to where you have a community, right? So that's why we built TradeLab Discord. And so all of these things are going to be things that are going to be able to be helpful for beginners, right? I created a little list here on ChatGPT. I'm not sure if you could see this, but I want to make sure that we're not missing anything. And again, it's like another thing that you're going to be able to do here is also get like chat support, right? So in addition to the community, you're also going to be able to, uh, actually talk to me and my team to make sure everything is working smoothly. If you have any questions, we're going to be there to help, right? And so for beginners, this is literally something that can take you from absolutely knowing nothing all the way to being going to the next level, right? Which is the intermediate portion, right? And so this intermediate portion, right? Basically, the intermediate portion is where the actual automation comes in, right? And the actual technology comes in, right? So for this, right, if you want to move to intermediate, let's actually instead of saying a beginner and just learning about these things, right? This is the intermediate portion where it's like, please, right? So you have this whole list of different indicators you could possibly, start testing and start using. Please build me a trading bot that uses the relative strength index, right? Which is just number 2 on this list. Excuse me. So we have that, right? So we literally just ask the agent to build me a trading bot that uses the RSI, okay? And it's thinking and it's working. And so here we are, right? So literally it will ask you a few questions to make sure it has all the specifics of your strategy, right? So again, for the education portion of it, if you don't understand these topics, you could always ask it, right? But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to put 1 day for the time frame, right? And if we also support multi time frames, we support a bunch of different things here, right? And again, if you have any questions on what it is, you would always ask the chat, right? You could always ask the AI, and it will give you a really robust sort of definition. Okay, so for the entry conditions, um, so we're going to go ahead and go uh, buy when it is typical, right? So buy when it is oversold. Again, if you don't know what these topics are, uh, then obviously just ask the AI chat and it will define them, right? And then sell when it is over 70, 30. Cool. And then number 3, what should trigger a so basically we're going to say take profit. Let's do 5%. Stop loss 2.5%. Then 4, no time restrictions. Okay. And again, so now we're getting into the more intermediate part of what this agent, right, this platform can actually do, right? So we're literally going to be taking all of this information, and it seems it has sufficient information to actually build a bot. So we're going to click that button, generate strategy. And remember, this used to take months to build one of these things. Okay. Now, in a matter of, I showed you a few different parts, and we're about 10 minutes in, okay, to the actual whole demonstration, right? And I took the time to actually do the education portion of it. I've showed you Discord community. I've showed you TradeLab Academy, and now we're actually getting to the meat and potatoes of it, and we're about 10 minutes in, right? And so we'll see how long it takes us to actually launch the bot, but it should be about 11, 12 minutes to actually launch the bot, to get it in a position to where we can back test. And again, I'll show you all the other features here shortly. Okay, boom, and there we have it. So it just loaded up right here, strategy 2, as you can see. And we are about 11 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take. And so, yeah, as you can see, we have literally all of the strategy specific settings. So this is based on what we just put in, right? So this is no matter what strategy you put, all of these strategy specific settings will adjust accordingly. Okay. So like no matter what strategy you put, your settings will always be here for exactly what you want, right? So we can adjust any of these things, right? Um, and so again, this section right here in particular is for the expert level, right? The pro level traders, right? If you're in the intermediate phase, right, we're going to stick to number one, the back testing. Okay. So the back testing, we want to make sure that historically, right, in the past, your strategy performed really well, right? So if we look at the past 365 periods, right, which is again in this case, we're trading on the 1 day time frame, it's 365 days, right? So we're going to look at the last 365 days. And you can see right here, with $50,000, we made $62, right? So this strategy is not very good, right? Again, we're trading Apple, right? So we'll try a different one right here. Let's try Tesla. And let's see. So we should see a totally different outcome right now. We should see a different number all throughout these, and we should see all these different trades. So with Tesla, you would have lost a tremendous amount of money, right? So you do not want to use this strategy on Tesla, for example, right? So you can see all the trades, right, that you've bought and sold here, right? Every single one of them. Similarly, here's a list of every single trade that you ever made, right? And your equity over time, right? So you definitely don't want to trade Tesla. Let's go ahead and see, what about Nvidia? And again, this is all included, right? So for the intermediate trader that doesn't really have a winning strategy, a repeatable strategy that makes them money time and time again without guessing, this is exactly the tool you're going to want to actually eliminate all the guesswork, right? So again, NVIDIA, you would have made a little bit of money, but the win rate's not there. The profit factor is okay. Um, so again, take this data and use it to actually make decisions. You're going to absolutely love your life after this compared to what you were doing, right? Which is guessing, and also trading manually. Because again, in this next portion, I know I mentioned this section right here is for the advanced trader, right? But let's say you do like NVIDIA and you want to actually trade with it, right? You could hook up a paper trading account, right? So again, this is for every user, right? This is super key, right? You could hook up, we have Alpaca is the current integration we have. So you hook up your paper trading account with Alpaca, right? And again, this is in TradeLab Academy. The whole tutorial on how to hook this up is in TradeLab Academy. So watch that tutorial, right? So basically you type in NVIDIA, right? If you're like, okay, that made $100 and something, right, over the last year. Let's trade 25% of my portfolio on it, right? And let's trade it on paper trading, right? Because I want to see, hey, is this actually going to work over time? And you just press start strategy, right? And then right here, as you can see, paper trading mode is activated, right? And that strategy is now literally trading for us live, okay? So it's going to be trading this strategy on NVIDIA. If I wanted to trade, you could choose up to 30 tickers, right? If I want to trade on Bitcoin, for example, right? Bitcoin, I believe it's DTC. Yeah, right here. If I want to trade it on that, right? I stopped the strategy and started again, right? And now I'm trading Nvidia and Bitcoin using this strategy. You could trade up to 30 tickers, okay? And so now that we have that, right? So this is all for the intermediate trader. The intermediate trader needs one more thing, right? So it has a historical view, and now it has an automated paper trading, like automated testing. And now we're going to look at how it's actually performing today, right? And then how it's performed over time. Okay, so this is the performance tab, right? Again, this is not only for the intermediate trader, but this is also moving into the advanced level traders. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, this platform has something for everyone. And no matter where you are, this platform has what it takes to get you from where you're at to where you want to be quickly. Okay, because again, we're about 15 minutes in, and already I believe I've shown you something that's going to change your trading life forever, because I know it has mine. Okay, and so we'll show you total trades, right? You can do all time, year to date, month to date, week to date, your P&L, your fees. So you're actually going to be able to factor in your commission and slippage, your trading volume. You can close all positions. You can look at everything that you currently have open, right? And then again, as I mentioned, the performance analysis here, if you, let's say you have like 10 tickers, you could see 10 tickers trading on this one strategy, right? And mind you, you could trade as many strategies as you want at the time being. We will probably switch up the offer and limit that, right? But for the time being, go ahead and build as many strategies as you want, as many tickers as you want, as we'll be able to manage, right? And so you'll be able to see Tesla right here, and then Nvidia, how they're all performing over time with this one strategy. Okay, all on one chart. Beyond that, you'll be able to see all your trade history, right? So I showed you earlier, basically you're gonna have a list of every single trade that it's ever taken, right? And all of that will be right here, okay? So you're also gonna be able to see your win rate, your hold time, your best trade, all this stuff, right? All in one spot, right? And that there is, again, borderline, intermediate slash advanced. And really where the real advanced stuff gets in, right, is taking this from paper trading to live trading, right? So if you want to start doing live automated trading rather than paper trading that's automated, right? Basically you switch to this, and this is now risking real money, right? Live trading uses real money. Only use this if you understand the risk involved, right? So like, hey, as long as you feel incredibly confident, right? And again, TradeLab gives you the tools to actually increase your confidence level, right? Obviously, there's other due diligence that you may have, and past results don't lead to future outcomes, right? Definitely, understand all the risks. But if you want to trade live, a strategy live, right? Then you just plug in your API keys for a live account, right? And then boom, right? The same thing is true right here. You basically go to this drop down and you select the live paper trading account, right? And you press start strategy. So that is literally TradeLab, right? In about, again, 18 minutes, give or take, we went over uh, everything you're going to need to go from, you know, a beginner trader all the way to an incredibly advanced seasoned pro at the highest level of quantitative trading, right? And again, one thing I forgot to mention, so this is spot, so this is normal, equities. If you want to trade options, obviously we actually have that enabled as well. Futures is coming. But again, if you want to trade options, all of that is here for you as well. Okay. Now you can't backtest options because the data is slightly different, but again, feel free to automate the paper trading and automate the live trading for the options piece, right? In the future, okay, so and you've seen what we have here. In the future, there'll be some really, really cool things. And number one, right, is going to be the marketplace, right? So eventually, we're going to be able to take this page, make it a public page, and you're going to be able to see everyone. Ideally, we have all kinds of, trading influencers on here, right? We already have a few that are already using our product. And basically, you're going to be able to see how their strategy is performing. And in the marketplace, again, you have to always do your own due diligence, never just take someone's word for it, right? We're giving you a lot of information, but always do your own due diligence. Make sure you understand what you're doing and the risk associated with it. But you could subscribe to your favorite trading influencer's strategy, right? You're gonna be able to see the back test. You're gonna be able to see the performance of it. everything right in the marketplace. And then if you so choose, you'll be able to subscribe and actually use their strategy directly built by them. Okay. So again, that is Arcade Trade Lab. It has something for everyone. And whether you're a beginner, whether you're a seasoned veteran, or just somewhere in the middle, it will take you from where you're at all the way to the absolute, tippy top of what, you know, a retail trader, someone that is, not on Wall Street, someone that is just a normal person, ideally, you have some success in your life, right? Or even if you don't, right? And you want to day trade for a living, right? And you want to, use prop firms. This is something that will take you to that tippy top level and give you all of the tools that Wall Street has, but here in your hand, right? And you're in your on your desktop, on your laptop, on your mobile phone, you now have all those same tools, right? So again, my name is Tim. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. I'll be making more videos, but again, if you have any questions, as always, just leave them in the comments below, and I would be happy to chat with you, right? As always, these videos are always going to be unedited unless I hear something back. Um, so yeah, love talking to you guys, and talk soon.